Hello everyone. Okay, so the next module, we'll start with the next module, that is module 3, runoff and hydrograph. Okay, all right, so first let us study the concept of runoff. Okay, all right, so okay, runoff. So runoff is nothing but usually when the precipitation occurs, that is when the rainfall occurs. So it penetrates. There are various forms. It penetrates deep into the soil, or some of it goes and stores as a depression storage. Some just flows on the ground, and some of which infiltrates within the soil. Okay, so most of this is the total runoff. So runoff is nothing but it is the summation. It is sum of all the water which flows on the surface. So total runoff is surface runoff, interflow, that is which flows within the soil. Next is the base flow, that which flows within the soil but at the base level, lower level. And then which is the channel precipitation, means see, you can see this is a channel precipitation. So most of it, okay, which enters the soil, flows through the surface, infiltrates. Ultimately, the excess water, you can see here, the excess water ultimately reach this channel. So this is nothing but the runoff. Extra waters, it goes and reaches the rivers, lakes, seas, etc. So this is nothing but the runoff. So this is called as the runoff. It's defined in the name itself, runoff. Okay. All right. So there are quite a few definitions to understand things better. So first is the total runoff. Okay. So total runoff is nothing but it is a part of the precipitation which appears in the streams. So it consists of surface runoff, interflow runoff, base flow, and well as channel precipitation. So all of this is the total runoff. So ultimately, all the total runoff which sum ups together, it reaches this portion. All right. Okay, so the next term is surface runoff. Surface runoff is nothing but it is a part of the runoff which flows over the land. Okay, so again, it is in the name itself, surface runoff, which flows over the land and ultimately it reaches the stream. So that's called as surface runoff. Okay, next is direct runoff. So the direct runoff consists of surface runoff, interflow runoff, and channel precipitation. So there is only surface interflow. So you can see surface interflow means again which flows within the soil and it comes out through this, which seeps through the soils and the land. Okay, interflow runoff and channel precipitation. So that is called as direct runoff. So it will not include the base flow. All right. So these are the terminologies which we'll be studying in detail. So right now it is just for you and for you to understand what exactly is the total runoff, surface runoff, and all. Okay. Next is the hydrograph. Okay, now this is very, very important. So hydrograph is nothing but it's a plot of the runoff or the discharge in the stream versus time. It is like discharge. Hydrograph is nothing but discharge of the water against time. So at any given point of time, you can measure how much is the water flowing through a particular channel section or a stream. Okay. Then ex, heavy rainfall excess. So this is the portion of rainfall appearing in the stream as well as runoff. So anything which is excess, so it's nothing but whenever there's excess rainfall, ultimately it leads to the flood. It fills the streams and leads to the flood. Okay, that's called as rainfall excess. Next is effective rainfall. So effective rainfall is nothing but it is the portion of the rainfall which appears in the stream as a sum of surface runoff, interflow runoff, and channel precipitation. So whatever is the effective rainfall, it just flows over the surface and then ultimately reaches the streams. Okay. And the last one is channel storage. So channel storage is nothing but it is the runoff occurs as the runoff occurs in the streams, the water level will start rising in the length, right? Thus, a very large volume of water is temporarily stored in the channel. So this is known as channel storage. Okay. So most of the time, whenever there is excess rainfall, it goes and stores in the channel. So that is nothing but the channel storage. Okay, which will be part of it, which will be used eventually. Okay. So the next thing is now this is the catchment area. Okay, now you can see here Again, this is just an imaginary line which is drawn here. You can see here, this is a river. This is one river. Okay, so see here, this is river A, main river. Okay, and these are the tributaries. Okay, tributaries means they're again the extensions of the rivers, parts of the rivers, sub part. Okay, sub part of the rivers are called as tributaries, and this is called, okay, just if you draw a watershed, this is called as a watershed. So watershed is nothing but, it is the imaginary line which wherein the complete, it covers the complete area of the river. Okay, now basically, so this is called as the catchment area. The catchment area is nothing but, it is the area of the land in which the water is collected through precipitation, runoff, etc., and that is known as catchment area. So it is that area of land wherein the water is collected through precipitation. That means in this portion of the land there is maximum rainfall, and that's how it's called as catchment area. That's how you catch the rainfall and draw imaginary line and assume that there is a maximum water rainfall occurring in this area. Okay, that's called as a catchment area. Okay. Then there are various methods of estimating the runoff from the basins. Okay. And the runoff from the basins. So there are basically some empirical formulas and charts by estimating losses. So basically losses again could be evaporation, transpiration, infiltration, unit hydrograph method, synthetic unit hydrograph method. So there are methods to estimate how much runoff, how much the water has flown through. Okay, out of which the unit hydrograph method is easier and thus the best method to calculate the runoff. Okay, so we'll be studying about this in detail. Okay, in the next videos. Okay, then there are factors which are affecting the runoff. There are many factors which affect the runoff. That is, they might be the rainfall intensity, duration of rainfall, type of precipitation, rainfall distribution. So all these are rainfall characteristics. It all depends on the rainfall. If the rainfall is more, the runoff is more. All right. Next, then could be the direction of wind as such. That also could be one factor. Then there will be any other climatic factors, that is like temperature, wind, velocity, annual rainfall, etc. And there could be some physical characteristics of the drainage basin. For example, the size, shape, and slope of the catchment area. If the catchment area is more, okay, it can retain more of water. If the same thing, if the catchment area is less, so it cannot retain more of water, and that's how it again contributes to for the runoff. All the water cannot be stored, it flows off to the streams in the form of runoff. Okay, then there could be a soil moisture, soil type, topographic characteristics. So if the soil has a good retaining capacity, so it holds back the water. Okay, soil type, if it is very good, if there are trees, plants, vegetation and all, so all those hold back the water and retain in the roots. Okay, so with these factors contribute for the runoff. Okay, so runoff can be reduced by increasing all these factors, effective factors ability. Okay, all right, that's all for today. Thank you.